Kenneth Cross at KOP 52. Talk a little bit about him.
He's 8-0 as an amateur, 2-0 as a pro. He's fought pretty much exclusively down in Grand Rapids. He's a tough guy, wrestling. That's his bread and butter. His stand-up is, a little iffy, and that's where I'm going to really focus. I've been working a lot on my wrestling, on my takedowns, and my wrestling defense, more or less, anything. He's a southpaw. Other than that, there's not much to him. I mean, he fights a lot of catch weights at 150 pounds, so I think I got a little bit of size on him. I know I got reach on him. He'll probably go to 45 when I'm done with him at 55. So
Now, how does it feel to be main event?
it's pretty cool, man. There was a kind of a decision between me and Devin Smith. He's fought for KOP quite a few times. This is my first time in the KOP card, one of the biggest stages in the Midwest, and I'm the main event too, so that's pretty cool. It has a lot to do with how many tickets I've sold. The reason I'm in the main event is because I sold $20,000 in tickets by myself.
Wow.
I got a lot of people coming with me, and a lot of people are surprised the following that I have. My coach, the people I have fighting with me on the same team on the card, they said they'll probably sell 40, 50 tickets, maybe some more, who knows. And I was like, my coach is like, they're driving 2.5 hours. I'm like, my people are driving over 3.5. He goes, yeah, but your people are gangsters. It was just kind of funny. No, I mean, we got some really big things in the works. I got a lot of people coming down, a lot of shirts. I'm pushing a lot of my sponsorship shirts with my sponsors on them. My buddy Frankie and his band Becoming Human are coming to play my walkout song live. They're really big in Michigan and in the U.S. They travel all over the country and play out for their tour and stuff like that. So we're doing big things. I don't think anyone in Michigan or on the professional level that I'm on is doing the things that I'm doing. But that's what sets me aside from everyone else. So
Now, having that support system, how much extra does that motivate you to win this fight, and especially in impressive fashion?
It's got a lot of. I mean, I got quite a bit of pressure on me from my fans, not from the promotion, not from Ken, not even really from myself, but a lot of my fans have been telling me because my last professional fight was a 22-second knockout, and they're like, if we drive to Grand Rapids, you better drag it out for 2 rounds, But in all seriousness, I mean, I'm going to come in there and put him away as quick as I can. Obviously, I hope to fight again in February. Got some big things in the works there if I come out unscathed in this fight. But yeah, I mean, my support system is definitely what drives me to get in the gym. When I'm tired, because I feel like I'm letting other people down. I got a lot of people that spend a lot of money. I mean, it's not cheap. You got to drive all the way to Grand Rapids. You got to get into a hotel. You got to spend the night. Some people got to take the day off work. So I mean, it's motivating for sure because I know I have a lot of people that believe in me. So.
Now, talk a little bit about your preparation for this fight. Who have you been training with, and how have you been preparing?
I've been training down at Stars and Strikes in Livonia, Michigan. James Bentonto is the head coach. I've been working with the wrestling coaches, their jiu-jitsu coaches. I train anywhere between 3.5 to 4.5 hours a day. I do a lot of cryotherapy and stuff like that over here in Royal Oak to kind of keep my body in tip-top shape. I've worked on my weight a lot. I mean, I'm a pretty big 55er, and I took it really upon myself because I know Ken is a smaller 55er. He doesn't have to cut a lot of weight. I've heard he's walking somewhere like 160 pounds, 162 pounds, which is small for a 55er this far out. So I took it upon myself to lose a little more of my size for this fight specifically because I know if it goes deep in the rounds, I don't want to be outmatched by cardio because he doesn't have to cut as much weight. So I took it upon myself to lose 8 to 10 pounds of solid muscle, to be honest with you, just for this fight alone. So I mean, I've definitely changed my diet. I've changed my workouts. I've taken this just about as serious as I take every other fight. So.
Before this, you said Ken was a punk. Explain to me your reasoning behind that.
Well, I mean, we were supposed to meet November 5th to sign our contracts. I drove down with the lead singer of Becoming Human, Frankie James, just to see the venue. We'd never been there before. So we drove, over 3.5 hours. We get there. It's Ken's hometown. It's Ken's promotion. He lives in the area. His manager comes up and introduces himself, tells me Ken's on the way. The promoter tells me Ken's on the way. Ken never shows up.
Oh wow.
So I'm just like, how can you not show up to your own promotion where his people booed me? I mean, the whole crowd was like, the Ryse Brink will be fighting Ken Cross, and they all, they go nuts, and they go, Ken didn't show up, and everyone just kind of shut up. He can give you 5 different excuses why he wasn't there, other than I just believe solely he is scared. And then we were supposed to do an interview for the radio station down here in Detroit. The storm was horrible. I mean, we left at 9:30 in the morning from where I live, 4 hours north of Detroit. We get down there early enough to train and do stuff like that. And of course, Ken talks all this shit online about how he's going to be there and how I'm a punk and blah, blah, blah. And he doesn't show up. Again, he's 0 for 2 different media things he's supposed to be there for. It doesn't show up. And he can give you, like I said, 5 different excuses why he wasn't there, but he's intimidated, he's worried, which he should be. He hasn't fought anybody really tough yet, and he knows he's getting in there with me, and I think he knows he's bitten off a little more than he can chew. So January 7th, we're gonna find out. But
Now, with the win over him, obviously you both are pretty accomplished as professionals. Where should that put you?
well, I mean, if you want to look at rankings, on some of the different websites, one of them he's ranked number 2 in the state at featherweight because he's fought so many catch weights. I'm not even ranked on that website. I'm honorable mention, which I'm fine with. I mean, those really don't mean much. Obviously after January 7th, they're going to announce that I'm one of the biggest draws in Michigan, with how many tickets I've sold by myself. It's huge. I mean, the promotions look for that. And I mean, when I'm bringing in, like I said, I sold $20,000 in tickets by myself. There's no other fighter in Michigan doing that. They might have a lot of people following them, to show up to watch them fight, but to personally sell $20,000 in tickets, that's crazy. So, like I said, those rankings online, they don't really mean much. But after I beat Ken and I'll be 3-0, I mean, I'm ready to fight anybody. And I told Matt, the promoter, that, and it doesn't matter who it is. As long as I have enough time to prepare, I'm game for whoever.
When watching you fight, what can fans expect to see from you?
I mean, people who watch my fight, it all really depends on the guy I'm fighting, whether I'm pushing forward or whether I'm kind of sitting back and going to be counter-striking. I think with Ken, I really do believe that I'm in his head, obviously, not showing up for either event. I think he really wants to make a point to all his fans because they're all talking a lot of trash, and he's talking a lot of trash about how he's going to smash on me. I think he's going to come out really aggressive, and I know that I'm longer than him. I know that I'm stronger than him, and I know I'm bigger than him. I really think he's going to turn into a wrestler, especially when I put my hands on him. I don't care how much he's been training. So I think he's going to really push forward. I mean, I'm going to come out, don't get me wrong. I'm going to be aggressive myself, but depending on what he does will depend on what I do. I know that kind of sounds cliche, but if he wants to push forward, I'll hit him with a check hook, and I don't think it's going to take many shots. I've never seen from much of his videos him being hit flush, because he likes to go to the ground and make it a ground war and grind on people. He hasn't fought anybody with real accurate hands, and I think once I put my hands on his chin, I think he's gonna fold, and I think it could be one of 2 ways. I think it's going to be a first-round stoppage or a second-round submission. I don't think he's going to make it to the 3rd round. So,
Gotcha. Now, lastly, who would you like to thank?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to thank all my sponsors. That's for sure. I got a lot of them. I got a very faithful and great band of sponsors. They really help me out. They make it possible for me to take 30 to 45 days right off of work. In my work itself, the Local 85 Union out of Saginaw, Michigan, they sponsor me. They go to my fights. They always they're there supporting me, and we'll all rise together. And that's what I like to tell all my sponsors is when I go up, they go up. And that's one thing I wish the UFC would have kept different was the Reebok deal, because now people's sponsors, they don't really get any exposure. So I mean, that's one reason that I kind of want to push towards Bellator, just because I want to be able to continue to bring my sponsors up with me in one way, shape, or form. But I'd like to thank Stars and Strikes out of Livonia, Michigan, all my training partners, my friends, my family, especially my fans. We're only a few weeks out now before the big show, so I'm excited. I know everyone else is excited, and we're going to make it happen.